All right, so this next part, we are going to talk about how to find the X and Y intercepts. Again, graph, and we're going to briefly talk about the domain and range. So again, domain and range is something that we're going to be doing all year. Graphing is something that we're going to be doing all year. All right, so to start with, let's find the X and Y intercepts. So we have to remember what an X-intercept is and what a Y-intercept is. So I'm just going to kind of, to remind us from the previous lesson, so an X-intercept is where the graph crosses the x-axis. So if we're thinking about that point, we're going to have some number for the x-coordinate, and we know that 0 has to be our y-coordinate. And then our y-intercept is reversed. So y-intercept, we're going to have 0 for the x value, and some number that we need to find for our y value. So we're using this idea to help us quickly find our x and y intercepts. So on number 11, let's start with our x-intercept. So I'm just going to label that, so x-intercept. So we know that 0 has to be, the y value has to be 0. So we're going to substitute 0 in for y. So 3x plus 5 times 0 equals 15. So really, this just kind of cancels. So we're solving 3x equals 15. So that means that x has to be 5. So the x-intercept is going to be at 5, 0. All right, y-intercept, let's do that next. So again, that means that our x value has to be 0 this time. So now we're going to replace x with 0. So 3 times 0 plus 5y equals 15. So again, that really just kind of cancels out because 0 times a number is just 0. So we're solving 5y equals 15. So that means y has to be 3. So now our y-intercept is going to be 0, 3. So to graph those, it's really, really easy once we have our x and y-intercept, because by finding those, we now have 2 points, and we only need 2 points to graph. Now this isn't the only method of graphing that you can do. We're going to talk about another one, but for now, this is going to be the easiest for us. So x-intercept, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put a couple lines on there for the negative side. And then y-intercept, 1, 2, 3. Again, we can make that go up higher. Same thing, let's add a few for our negative side. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then now we're just going to put our points on there. So 5, 0, so here's our first one. And 0, 3, 1, 2, 3. There we go. And we are going to connect those together. So there is our linear graph. And this is also asking us to find the domain and range. So domain and range, again, we're looking at our horizontal and vertical expansion. Well, our domain looks like it's going to go left and right forever, so that's all reals. Again, interval notation would be from negative infinity to positive infinity. And range, same thing, it's going to go up and down forever. So all reals again. And again, if we're in interval notation, this is what it would look like. So we have a couple parts to this question. X and y-intercept, so here is our x-intercept. Y-intercept, we have our graph, and then our domain and range. So all of this is our answer, including our graph. All right, let's try one more like that. Okay. So again, we need to find the x and y-intercepts. So let's start with our x-intercept. So again, since we're finding x, that means that we're going to replace y with 0. So 2x plus 5 times 0 minus 10 equals 0. So again, this is going to cancel, and I'm going to add 10 over right away. So now we have 2x equals 10. So we're going to divide by 2 to get x equals 5. So my x-intercept is going to be at 5, 0. Oh, looks like we got the same one as before. And then now let's find the y-intercept. And I'm also going to circle this because that was part of my answer. So y-intercept. So this time we are replacing x with 0 to find y. So this will be 2 times 0. Plus 5y minus 10 equals 0. So again, that 2 times 0 is just 0, so that cancels. We're going to need to add 10 again. So 5y equals 10. and then divide by 5, so y is 2. So as a point, this is going to be at 0, 2. So again, I'm going to circle this because that's part of my answer. Now for the graph, again, since we know what our x and y-intercepts are, that's what we're going to graph. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, we can go past. Put a couple tick marks on there for the negative side. And then y-intercept is at 2, so 1, 2. I'm going to go a couple past, so 1, 2. And a few on there for my negatives. And now we want to graph our points. So 5, 0, so here's our x-intercept. 0, 2, there's the y-intercept. And we're just going to connect these in a straight, straight as you can, straight line. So this is why we want to use pencil instead of pen. So, domain and range. Again, if I'm looking at this, it's going to keep going to the left and right forever, so that's going to be all reals again. So again, interval notation is from negative infinity to positive infinity. And the range looks like it's going to go up forever, down forever. So all reals again. Or again, for an interval notation, negative infinity to positive infinity. And that is also part of our answer, so we need to circle that. And the graph is part of our answer.